know that there is the right fit for you out there. That there is a community that will resonate with you and be home. And that there are people out there, like our team here, that want to help guide you through the process. It's a daunting and overwhelming process, but we're here to meet you where you're at and learn about your journey, because everyone's journey is different.
It's okay to get emotional. Yeah, it's an emotional process.
Always and ever.
Been on the other side of it, and I've sat in those offices in those chairs and I've cried, because I didn't know what questions to ask. And it's okay, and we're here for you. We support you, and you will find, like Katie said, there is a community for everybody. It's a matter of finding the right.
Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show.
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And we are back again at Chateau Retirement, specifically at Chateau Bothell Landing. And I am here interviewing two more community relations directors, which is Ashley Cochran and Katie Vail. Nice to meet you both. And, we just talked to two residents here at Bothell, and how many times did they praise the marketing team? You guys are incredible.
They gave us some good shout outs.
Yes, they were amazing. They're amazing. And you have the most amazing residents. And it all starts with you guys. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to work here, the two of you.
Yeah, I think the most special part is getting to work with families and getting to work with the residents. We are a lot of times their first contact with someone in the community. And so getting to just experience it with them as they walk through the community, as they see the different amenities, as they see how the residents interact with each other, they get to taste the food. We get to walk them through that process, and then also give them resources along the way. So you really build that connection with the residents families, and their loved ones from the very beginning.
Wow. And Katie, you actually grew up in the senior living industry pretty much, did you not? Tell me a little bit about your background.
Yes, I did. I've been fortunate enough to be around senior living my whole life. My dad is a nurse of many years at another senior living. And so from a young age, I was able to run around his communities, and eventually got to start my own path with senior living as a server in his dining room.
That is so cool.
Which was just, he was the most loved there. So it made it easy to love it also.
Yeah.
And then I, ended up being able to actually go and study it in college and learn those ins and outs and the operations of senior living and how that functions, because it's a whole different world than other industries out there. But I was so lucky and fortunate to have a dad who loved what he did and had a passion for it, and be able to inherit that passion in a different way in the business and, marketing sales aspect.
That is so incredible. And then, of course, Ashley, you came from a very different world. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So prior to senior living, I was working in real estate for a large real estate tech company for about 8 years. As a real estate agent, and then through management. And so I really just developed a love for housing, for helping people find homes, for helping people connect with where they're going to live. A lot of times it was early on in their process of life, sometimes their first home they ever bought. And then transitioning into senior living. Now I get to help families find a place where they can age in place.
Right.
Really important.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you guys came together here about 3 months ago.
We did.
Telling me a little bit about that transition, and why did you choose Chateau?
We were partners in marketing at another senior living community. So we worked together really closely. An opportunity came up for us to shift over to the Chateau community, and we both really fell in love. Like the minute we walked in, the minute we met the team. But what was really stood out for me, most importantly, was the residents and how they interacted with us. They were so gracious and just told us how much they loved it. They're vibrant. They're interactive with each other. They're out in the community, and it feels like it's their home.
Yeah.
We're here at Chateau. You walk around, it is the residents' home, and we're just there to support them.
Yeah.
And it was noticeable how much the people are loved here. From both sides, how much the residents love the staff and how much the staff loves the residents. And it felt really good the minute we walked into the community.
And, I noticed you mentioned you're a team.
Yeah.
You came here as a team.
We did.
How did you start working together as a team, and how do you complement each other?
Do you want to take that?
Oh my goodness. There's so many different ways. I think Ashley and I with different backgrounds really balance each other out. Ashley is a very technical minded brain and has taught me a ton about organization and how to be most efficient in your role. And I've just been really grateful to be able to learn from her.
I need an Ashley in my life.
Everyone does. Everyone needs an Ashley.
Well, I'm available. We were just lucky enough to be able to be partners at the last organization that we worked at, the last community, and it was an instant connection. I think we do balance each other out very well. Katie's very experienced in senior living. She's taught me a lot. And it's fun to work together. We have different schedules, but my favorite day of the week is Tuesday when Katie comes in and we get to be in the office together. So.
Yeah. And obviously there's that trust factor.
Yeah.
And, you came from other organizations. Tell me what it was like to start with Chateau and their culture.
Culture is so important at a place that you work. And I can't stress that enough to anyone that I'll talk to about career growth and finding a home where you feel like you can grow in not just your career, but you can be challenged and you can discover what we're really passionate about. Coming from real estate and an organization that was very large nationwide, I was looking for something that felt really meaningful. Something that, like, when I go to bed at night, I can feel good about what I've done.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I know I came from a hardcore sales world myself, and having that feeling of, to look at yourself in the mirror at night and know that you made a positive difference. It's so powerful. I can't even begin to share. And I know exactly what you're talking about.
We experience that all the time, every day. We're sitting across the table from a family member and they're in a crisis situation. They don't know the answers or the questions to ask. They don't know the answers that they're going to get. They are looking for guidance. And we get to be those people to help them, to give them resources, to let them understand what's next for their loved one, how their loved one's going to be safe. Going to be able to grow, not isolate. And I think that that's what brings a lot of joy in our career and here at the Chateau in particular, because I know that when I make a family a promise, that promise is going to be kept.
Yeah,
which is really important.
Yeah. So you guys, and including Debbie, who was with us, you're known here as the dream team.
Allegedly,
Yeah. Tell us about your secret sauce, girls. We want to understand a little bit about why are you the dream team?
I think we're just all super mission focused on why we're in this industry, right? I think Debbie had mentioned, right, it's not for that paycheck.
No.
We are fortunate in this industry to get a second paycheck. And that's when we see the residents that move into our community and how they thrive.
Yeah. Which is amazing. And really, how many types of careers where, you make a quote unquote sale, but then you get to really experience the result on an ongoing basis. And I think that's one of the things as a marketing person, you're more like an ambassador. Wouldn't you agree with that?
100%. Yeah. We live with these residents. We're here 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Spending time with them.
And they love you, clearly.
Yeah. We love them. But it's such a joy when you start from the very beginning and then you get to watch them move in, you get to help them through that process, and then you walk into the dining room with another tour and they stand up and they want to tell that tour all about how great it is to live here and all the activities and the food and all these things, and you get to see them on an ongoing basis. So the sale isn't done just the minute, the check is signed. We're there for the very end too, which makes it an emotional journey, but it is so impactful. And we work really well together as a team of three. We complement each other. We trust each other. It's just all about the communication and about us.
Yeah. And that's unusual in a sales team because obviously salespeople are considered sometimes very competitive by nature. This industry is a little different in the fact that you really have to take off that piece because it's all about being, having the right fit and being that heart that is there for the family. And at the same time, doing a good job to represent the community that you are a part of. What has stood out to you, having come from other communities, about Chateau?
My goodness, yeah. You know, it's the sense of, Ashley kind of touched on it, the sense of community here, right? The investment from the residents, the families, and the staff in the happiness of each other. You know, it truly makes a difference that it's family owned and operated, because we feel like a family here. Here at Chateau Bothell Landing, we are all together, and it's one mission for you. And you can feel that.
Yeah. And I obviously, what advice, I asked residents, but I definitely want to ask the two of you, what advice do you have for families that are touring senior living right now?
My advice would be to think about what is going to give the resident or your loved one immediate joy and happiness, but also think long-term. So think about that aging in place. Think about a community that's going to be able to offer, whether they're independent or assisted, or maybe one day they need memory care, because that move is hard and it's a transition and it can be really challenging. And the fact that you can age in place here, you can move in as independent. And if you ever need care, you can still get your care, or if you ever need memory care, you can transition to that in the same community where you've just developed all these friends and you've built this care is so important, because a lot of times people are just thinking about the now. And not thinking about the future. And then I will always tell them, come in tour a couple of times, have lunch, sit down with the residents. You want to walk into a community and you want that to feel like it's your house. It's your home. Or you can really.
And I always tell families, and I think you guys will agree with this, come, yes, at your established time. But also come back unannounced. Find out what the culture is really about. Because I think, you know, there's a lot of communities across the USA where people are going to see this podcast and they're going to think, well, you know, I had a nice appointment at XYZ community. It doesn't necessarily mean it's like that all the time. So to come by unannounced, to see things a little bit like that, if you're really serious about touring, that's powerful, is it not?
It's very
powerful. I always encourage, you know, if they're close to making that decision, sit down and have lunch with other residents.
Absolutely.
Hear what it's about, what it is like to be a resident at this community before you become one. They get to give you the insider skin.
And I think the other thing that I'm going to bring up is there's no request or question that's too bizarre, is there?
No. And don't be afraid to ask to speak to the nursing staff, to speak to the executive director. If you want to sit down with the culinary director, if you want to really experience the community, don't be afraid to ask any questions. Ask to speak to people who are going to be in charge of the things that are most important to you. Work with your community relations director, because we're available 7 days a week here at Chateau to tour, to help families find that right placement.
Okay. And I have a final question for you guys. You're in the beautiful Pacific Northwest in Greater Seattle. What do you want our families to know?
What do I want our families to know? Know that there is the right fit for you out there. That there is a community that will resonate with you and be home. And that there are people out there, like our team here, that want to help guide you through the process. It's a daunting and overwhelming process. But we're here to meet you where you're at and learn about your journey, because everyone's journey is different.
It's okay to get emotional. It's an emotional process.
Why is it ever?
Been on the other side of it, and I've sat in those offices in those chairs and I've cried, because I didn't know what questions to ask. And it's okay, and we're here for you. We support you, and you will find, like Katie said, there is a community for everybody. It's a matter of finding the right.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for both of us. That was powerful. And thank you for being on the show, Dream Team.
Yay!
Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.